Now we review the 2024 film, The Substance. Yes, Substance. Ladies and gentlemen, I have seen what I believe is my top film for the year so far. And the year is almost over. Well, more than 90 days left, but that's not the point. The Substance is a new film starring Demi Moore, where she plays a 50-year-old who's in the entertainment industry, and she's past her prime, she's losing jobs, and she gets the opportunity to do something scientific that essentially gives her two selves. Herself and a younger, hotter version of herself. Wow. This is a movie about addiction and internal struggle. You know, you've got two characters essentially playing the same person. One is the public persona that is making the money, and the other one is the true self, which is suffering from a poor life balance. And before I go any further, let me tell you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. I am trying to make a better world. It's expensive. I need your help. You can help me for free by commenting, liking, and subscribing. Now, one of the things I have to say, the poetic weirdness about this film, is that Demi Moore, I checked, I believe she's 61 now, and she plays a 50-year-old character. So it really does say something about just the world that is perceived here. Now, let me tell you that this is a body horror film, and not only does it earn its R rating, this film should be NC-17. This is going to give people nightmares. This film is insane. I mean, not only is there just a huge amount of nudity in this film, I mean, it's not only is it nudity, it's very disturbing nudity in certain scenes with the body horror elements. I mean, it's not mutilation, it's not a splatter film. There's some blood in this, but wow, I mean, there are elements of The Fly and The Thing in this film. This is extreme body horror. This is the body horror that Cronenberg would truly love. But it's sane enough so that you're not just grossed out. You don't want to vomit. But, I mean, just, wow, is the body horror in this film incredible. You know, it is really disturbing stuff. I will say that if I wanted to make it grosser, I would have made it a little less dry in places. But, I mean, in the end there, it really, wow, this is disturbing. I mean, this film is shot like an art film. There are a lot of extreme close-ups, and there are a lot of odd scenes. There's one scene with Demi Moore where, you know, she's talking to this other character, and they make the conscious choice to show her from the nose down, not showing her eyes, which, I mean, removal of the face of a character tends to be very dehumanizing. That's one of those symbols there. So it's almost like this person dehumanized her, and it's just very artistic in terms of its shooting. And I will also say that the sound score for this film, it's exactly what it should be. I mean, really, they don't use a huge amount of music in this film, but what they do use is very appropriate to set the mood and the surreality of this picture. But, I mean, the mainstead of this, the center stage product, is the body horror, which is truly truly incredible. And I have to ask, did they use a body double for Demi Moore? Because that does not look like her hiney. I mean, her hiney has been in a lot of things, and it's always been a spectacular hiney. And, one of the things about the hiney is that it is one of those parts of the body that you can tone, This is a woman who's always taken very good care of herself. So I think she might have, if that was her real hiney in that particular shot where they showed off the hiney, I think that she probably looked at her hiney and said, this is why I'm going to make this movie. Because, it doesn't look like her hiney. You go and you Google her hiney, and that she just has a much better hiney than that. So that's just one of those things, and it's like the other actress, I forget her name, she has an incredible hiney. And, yes, you see a lot of her hiney. Her hiney is very, very prominent in this movie. There's a lot of hiney going on. And you're just going, Demi Moore is a very attractive woman, even still. She hasn't really lost that attractiveness. She's not like, perfect, but still very attractive woman, for being a person who's done as much work as she has, been under the stress she's had. It's really surprising. She can take really good care of herself. And that's just one of those things. It's just like, yeah, that's the person you want in this movie because, she looks great. Yeah, someone goes, well, yeah, but she's not 25. Yeah, okay, but she looks a lot better than a lot of 25-year-olds I've met. Anyway, Dennis Quaid also is a real standout for this movie. He plays kind of a secondary antagonist to the self. He is a D-bag. And, there's just one scene where he is eating shrimp. He is making that shrimp utterly disgusting. And, it is just incredible how well he does that. The close-ups of his mouth, the rudeness of the body, and eating are very much on display in this film. This is a painful film to watch. You are glued to it. This is like George R.R. Martin, part of you're afraid to see what happens next kind of filmmaking. How they got this under an R rating, I just do not know. But he is just this horrible sleaze character. And then in the end, it's one of those things about this film is that the central theme is the internal battle and balance. Finding balance in your life. Finding balance between who you want to be and who you truly are. And it's one of those things, it's like this woman has this sort of second lease on life, but in order to enjoy the second lease on life, she's killing herself. And, it's like there's a development of an eating disorder in this movie, which is very prescient to these particular people. And there are these scenes where she's almost taking out her anger on food. It's just really like, yeah, I get it, Taking out your anger on food, consuming as a form of control, of gaining a lexicon. It's one of those movies that is almost existential in its rawness and the scope of the pain that it displays. I think a lot of people are going to be able to see this movie and understand what is going on and what is happening. So, look, this film, it is an art film. Okay, so I can give it the art film rating, but it's a really great art film. So this gets my very rare must-watch rating. This is one of the best films I've seen this year. It is really, I don't think I could watch it again because it is so emotionally draining, but this is a film you really should see. But just be prepared for the fact that it is a gross movie. It is an agonizing movie. It is a Requiem for a Dream level movie wherein you may not be able to watch this a second time because it is so disturbing. And I will say that I have watched many body horror movies multiple times. I have watched The Thing maybe 5 or 6 times. I have watched The Fly at least 3 times. This film, I don't know if I could do it again. Okay? It is that horrific. It is that good. So, yes, The Substance is a must-watch film. Go out and see it. It is probably going to be much better in theaters unless you have a really big, nice TV at home. And that's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard.
Randall the Rat here, reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe. And why should you do that? Well, look over here. These are bracelets from 4Ocean. Each one of them means a pound of trash was pulled out of the ocean. And this channel buys one for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. And this around my neck, well, this is a medal from the Conqueror. It represents walking around the Great Pyramids of Giza. You can get one for yourself by going to the Conqueror challenges.com and saying, hey, I want to pretend I walked around the pyramids of Giza without dealing with all the sweat and flies and delicious scarab beetles. Or you could support this channel so they can buy more of these, which means that they will plant trees, because each one of these represents 5 trees that got planted. Yeah, that's right, 5 trees, helping your environment. Global warming sucks. Be a good person, comment, like, and subscribe. Give us more money so that we can plant trees by buying medals from the Conqueror. Randall out.